Hello. And I forgot to set up my camera, but it's too late now. So we're just getting started. Is that... That's not right. Why is... Is that right? I guess that is right. It's weird. Okay. Alright. We are back. Yesterday, I finished up the cleanup on 2 parts of the cloak. The last part is going to be the back. So. Let's see here. Look, 3. And this should be pretty quick because it's just a single line. Where's cloak there? I do need to make sure it is correct in every instance, but... for the most part, that shouldn't be too hard. Also, good to see you there, Comsal. Hope you're doing well. And this is cleanup, so we're gonna mostly be doing a lot of just lines. I will be doing some animating though today. Because I have a few other elements I haven't completed. Nice thing is I should be able to do most of these with one line, and then I can correct it after the fact. I do want to make sure that the movement makes sense, though. Oh. So, depending, I may actually be able to get pretty much all of this done today. I need to figure out how I'm going to do the neck. I have ideas. I think I know how to do it. But it'll be interesting. Wants to fill this in just to have it, just in case. Yeah. Long. That'll probably work. Trying to be better about not having to redo lines over and over again. Truth be told, line control is really important. Control Z is nice, but I don't know. I feel like I rely on it a little too much sometimes. That's really close. But not quite. Hold on. Let's try that again. I should be able to work that into place. That should be close enough. Nice thing is I just have to get it kind of approximate. The front is what really matters in this case. That being said, I can't get lazy with it. It does need to work. That's going to become a problem later. I want to fill that in. Come on. turn body off. We'll just see what it looks like. That mostly won't be a thing. Dang it. It could probably be fixed, but it won't really matter. So I'm not going to worry about it right now. Okay. That's done. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to do the body, I need to do the neckline, I need to do the hood line. Do I want to do that on its own layer? Yes. Yes, I do. Okay. That's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna need. I probably should do the body first. Before I do that. That way I know exactly where the lines are. Okay, which the body needs to be separated into pieces. This arm needs to be above this, below this. The rest of the body needs to be below everything, except for the back. That should work. And then the hood needs to be on top of everything. That hood's going to be on top of everything. Then there's going to be a separation of the neck. Yeah. Okay. So let's do the body now. It ended up being a bit more convoluted than I was expecting. Body 1. The nice thing is this is just one frame, so. Oops. Oh. Oh, okay, that worked, I guess. Cool. Okay, so this arm will be separated. Let me turn off the cloak. Both of the cloaks. Or rather, all 4. And the hood. The neck will be its own thing as well. Do this. That all is going to need to be up front. I might have to copy and paste an element or two. Oh. No, that is. Okay. For a second, I thought it wasn't a vector layer, but it is. Yeah. I technically do need to animate the sash as well. I mean, I don't need to, but I want to. Straight line. Let's go. I'm actually good. Hey, what's up, Guilty? Am I doing a Blind King animation tonight? I am. And ideally, in theory, might be able to get it done, like as far as the artwork goes, tonight. Man, I'm gonna be honest, this project nearly became an absolute nightmare. Very, very close. So the way that animation rendering works, you might have seen me do this. Actually, yeah, no, for sure. At least some people did watch me do this when I was doing the rendering for Wicker and his animation and stuff like that. That was done via image sequences, right? I was exporting image sequences. I need to get some airflow in here. So image sequences, right? So I was exporting this image sequence last night, right? When I noticed something pretty bizarre. I was noticing I was missing frames. Like it would export, right? And suddenly it would stop. Let's say I wanted to export like 180 frames, right? It would stop around 143, I think it was, something like that, frames export. It's like, well, that's a smaller number than 180. What's going on? So at first, it looks like it's just stopping. So it's like, okay, that's annoying, but I can export the rest of the frames. So let me just do that. But it kept on like getting most of the frames, but not all of the frames. And I'm like, what is going on, right? Finally, I get fed up and I put it off. I didn't even need to really do it last night. I was like, it's just for testing purposes, right? So I'm like, whatever, I'll figure that out in the morning. Is her arms a little long? My arms are kind of long, but that's a little long. So I'm like, okay, well, let me see what I can do. So I started doing some testing and nothing is working. I'm playing around with different settings and bottles. This is of course all on Linux, so you know, that's not good. I'm just gonna redo this. So it's like, have I come across something really annoying that I can't fix? Seems like it. And then it gets really bad because I begin to notice, like I'm counting the frames and stuff like that, all like the cloak is on 3s, right? So that means that every frame should have 3 exposures, right? It should have 3 instances, or rather each drone should have 3 frames, right? But that's not the case. Some only have 2. And I'm like, why are you exporting? Like, why are you skipping frames? Like, what's going on here? Like, please tell me, like, help me out. This isn't good. So I do a bunch of testing, and it's not working. And I'm like, oh no. Like, oh no. Because the alternative, if image sequencing isn't working, I can't export video files. Like, that absolutely just does not work from this setup. It's kind of a terrible hand. I might fix that. So it's like this or I'm having to export each frame by hand. As in, go over to the menu, go down to export single layer, go to PNG, do that 180 times how many layers there are. So we're like doing that like upwards of, you know, several hundred times, like 1,000 to like over 1,000 times probably. I think it would work out to. That's not good. That's not gonna work. So I'm like racking my brain. I'm like, what is wrong with this thing? Why would it do that? Like, what? That is such a weird problem. Even for like running a Windows program, right? Like, that is such a weird inaccuracy. I'm trying different like processor methods and like, is it the CPU synchronization getting off or like freaking out or something like that? And I'm racking my brain. Finally, I realize I've been exporting at 24 frames per second, right? I've been exporting at 24 frames per second. This project, because it's the default state, was set to 30 frames per second. So I actually animated this at 30 frames per second. I kind of wish I hadn't, but it is what it is, and it's not that big of a deal. It didn't really change that much. But what that means is what I was doing is I was under, in film, it would be referred to as, under or over? I think overcranking, right? So back in the day when you wanted to make something look like it was slow motion, you would, you know, cameras were hand cranked, right? You had a, that's how cameras worked, right? So you would crank the film at like 2 times speed or whatever was the standard, right? So let's say standard crank rate is 24 frames per second. You would crank it 48 frames per second, and then you would play it back at 24 frames per second, right? Then that way it would appear at half speed, right? That's basically what I was doing. I had animated it at 30 frames per second. But I was exporting it at 24 frames per second. What that meant, though, was, you know, it's an image sequence. It's not like it's processing it differently. So it's saying, oh, well, that's an awkward number, right? So every now and again, we're just gonna skip a frame. Essentially, we're gonna delete a frame because we don't need it because we're doing 24 frames per second now, not 30 frames per second now. And it was driving me crazy. That was bad, man. I thought I was gonna have to bust out my Windows machine to finish the project. I was like, oh man, you can't fix that. Like random frames just disappearing. Like, nah, man, that's not gonna work. Okay, so let's make another layer. So, long story short, crisis averted. we're back on schedule. We can go back to our regularly scheduled programming. We don't have to worry about coming up with some weirdo workaround method. I will always happily take just user error rather than a legitimate problem. Every time, man. I don't care how stupid it makes me look. If I ever have to run into something that is a legitimate problem, I am always hoping that I'm just being dumb. Because that is so much easier. It is so much easier than worrying about some kind of critical error. All your problems are usually just you being dumb. See, that I can fix, right? Like, I can fix me being dumb. Just be smart. You know, just get smart. Like, that's easy. What I can't fix is having to be really smart to, like, rewrite a driver issue or something like that, you know? I am not that smart. If I have to be smart for the computer's sake, oh boy, I don't know, man. That is a long shot sometimes. It depends. Sometimes I can figure something out, but again, if I'm having to like go through code and like it's like, oh, this incompatibility error, it's like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I should have. I always do this, man. I always get lazy with the hands, and then I go to draw them, and it's like... Good luck. Oh, shoot. Hold on. I want to test something. Oh. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me explain something. Let me explain something real quick. What I just did, I have been waiting for like 10 years. What did I just do? I just copied something from one frame, from one layer, right? The way this works, and pasted it into another. That I have been waiting for that for so long. No, very good gasp. Very like my problems are over gasp. But very like finally after all this time. Because I was searching around settings when I was trying to solve that other issue. I was searching around settings and I noticed, I was like, oh hey, that's an interesting one. I was like, the paste onto cell active cell. I'm like, is that what I think it is? And it is. Oh my god. Oh, that makes me so happy. That makes me so happy. You guys don't understand. You guys don't understand how annoying it has been for the last like 12 years to have to create a new layer and then merge it, and that's really annoying in animation because like, so for example, let me see if I can do this. Okay, we can all see the layers. Let's say I was like, oh no, cell 2, or cell 1, I have like cool stuff I want to do. Oops. But oh no, it's on. Oops. Hold on. Come on. Yeah, that'll work. It's on cell 1A or whatever, right? Oh, that's okay. Hold on, I can make this work, I think. Yeah. Okay. So notice. So cell 1A, right? That's basically this frame, right? The arm, right? Notice that it doesn't exist, right? So if I were to merge these two layers, you wouldn't see it. It wouldn't suddenly pop through. So what I would have to do is I'd have to drag these out of this folder. Oh, oops. I'd have to drag these out of this folder and into like a layer in between, and then boom, see how it popped up? That's not so bad when I'm doing like when it's like just one or two layers within a folder, right? But imagine having like 60, right? And imagine you're going through and you're realizing like, oh hey, if I copied this from this and put it in there, that would save me a bunch of time. But it's in the middle of that stack. So I'd have to like grab those two layers, take them out of the folder, merge them, then insert them back in. It was so annoying. It was such a headache. Like I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't copy and paste. I would redraw rather than copy and paste. And now I don't have to do that. Oh, I'm so happy. I wonder how long that's been in the program. Because I just stumbled on that. So. Oh, man. That makes me happy. Okay, let's do the neck now. We'll just call it body 3. Yeah. Of course, for some reason it doesn't. Okay. So I should take I think the neck the only thing that'll really matter. I think the neck is the only thing that'll really matter. Three, okay. Oops. I don't want it coming right out of the chin. No, that isn't the only thing that's going to matter. Or... no, that should work. Yeah, I should be able to make that work. Okay. Maybe I'll put those lines on top as well. I don't know. I'll figure that out later. Okay, one thing I need to check. I might actually. Make sure that this goes all the way up. I'll consider animating the neck. It shouldn't matter though with the timing. It almost certainly won't. Okay, okay, so now for the tricky part is here's the hood. So essentially what I need to do is I need to draw the back of the hood, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do that from here. The nice thing is it's only 10 frames. And it's here. So this one's already done. This one's technically already done. There we go. Why are you... Oh, not sharp. Dang it. What are we listening to tonight? This is the newest release from Form State. And I've been listening to it pretty much on repeat. I was listening to it last stream as well. So I apologize for sticking to the same music, but I cannot stop listening to it. Really good. Yeah, should be fine. I missed the last one, so you're good. Excellent. Yeah, no, I've been really enjoying Form State's work. I'm not super big into drum and bass, but I've been slowly kind of getting into it, and there's like specific styles of it that I really enjoy. Yeah, I'll have to do it that way. Okay, I'll have to do 2 layers of color. Because so technically behind this is still more hood. So it's alright though. That'll work. It's kind of crazy how many layers I'm actually having to do for this. Right? You don't think about that stuff until you actually start getting into it, but like when you need to separate a character, right? You want to have like one part of them going around an object, but the rest of them behind it or whatever. You have to kind of puzzle like, okay, how do you make that happen? It's not too tricky. It's just more leg work than you kind of expect at first sometimes. Because it's just a matter of like logic, right? It's just logically how would like one thing stack on top of another to get the result, right? A little bit of fourth dimensional thinking. Actually, I think it's just three-dimensional thinking. Like 2.5 dimensional thinking. That should do it. This thing is a lot of the animation I have to do is pretty straightforward and simple. I might forgo the sash. I don't know. Maybe just kind of imply that it's behind the thing, but I don't know. This isn't technically correct. I'll probably rework that. Alright, okay. Do I want to put the lines on the same layer as the hood cleanup? No. No, I do not. I want it to be on its own. The reason being because I need the neck to be in front. And I don't want to risk the Actually, what is that called? It's not a brooch. A thing that holds like a cloak or a cape or something like that together. I actually don't know. Let's see what's going on good old Chiptune FM. Clasp? Clasp is a good word if that's not it. Yeah. I think that's... Actually, I think that is what it's called. I don't know, I feel like there's some, like, obscure word for it or something like that as well, but I could be wrong. Oh, we're starting off with a banger, that's for sure. Cape medallion. I mean, that seems very specific. Is that like an actual like term? Is that what something like that would be called? I don't know if it's a medallion. It doesn't have any kind of like metal to it as far as like symbol or anything like that. I wanted to do that, but I was like, I don't feel like complicating this. I'm trying to be faster at like getting junk out. Looking it up right now, so that is an actual term? I've never heard that term, Cape medallion. I mean, that's a cool term. I like that term. And it makes sense. Is it a solid circle or a circle? It's like a semicircle, like dome, essentially, is what it is, right? So it's a solid piece, or maybe it's like hollow, right? But it's circular, so it's solid. So it's not just a frame. It's made out of, I think it's brass, actually. I can't remember if or it might be bronze. A lot of stuff is made out of bronze in this world. Or copper. No, I think it's bronze. Can't remember. It's been a while since, like, I've drawn her in this outfit. So I don't remember. Does it use a pin? If it does, it would be a brooch. I think so. I think it does use a pin. So there you go. I guess it is a brooch. Fibula is the first thing that came up. Wow. Okay. I really didn't know what any of this was. I've also never heard that used as a term for it. That's interesting. Yeah, I'll probably just go with the term brooch then. Makes sense. Not that it really matters because I don't have to label it, but good to know for the future. Good to know your fibula from your brooch. I guess. Alright, let's see that. That's fine, that's fine. Yes. That's good enough. It's a little humpity bumpity at one point. Hold on. Right there, because we have down, then up, then kind of back down. That could be a... Let me try just moving this up. Be a pretty easy fix, all things considered. Oops. I didn't really treat the spacing there super tight. This is actually a good place to use like an onion skin. Onion skin is good for if you're doing just like pure consistent line drawovers and stuff like this, so you know exactly where you're at. Otherwise, you kind of want to be careful with it. But in this case, if it's a little like even, it doesn't super matter, because it's just so it's not distracting is the big thing. That's good enough. That's that. The other thing I want to do, I should go down to cloak. Where's that? Cloak 2, I think it is. Or is it cloak 1? It might be cloak 1. Yeah. And I need to make sure that this line makes sense. That's going to be body 2. Actually going to... Actually, might make more sense to leave the gap and then draw the lines for each of the frames. That'll be on cloak 2. Or cloak 1, rather. Yeah, that's looking all right. I just realized I think I'm gonna have to do the color in 2 separate layers. Not a huge deal, but it's something I'll have to think about. So when you have lines shifting like this, then you have to consider that for the color. Won't be too bad. But we'll have to consider it. Come on. Oh, man. That's kind of useful. Huh. We'll go with that. I mean, the alternative is we don't have it move around like that. I don't know, I'll keep it as is right now. Oh, man. Alright, let's see with all the pieces. I need to zoom in a touch. Yeah. I think that works. The one side does look a little big, though. You talking the right side? Yeah, it's supposed to look like that. The cape, the cloak is asymmetrical. That's how it was originally designed. Unless you're talking about something else. The nice thing is that arm's going to be hidden most of the time, so that's good. Okay, well. The coloring. Coloring shouldn't take too long the way that I do it. The way I'm doing it. I will need to think about all the layers of coloring though. The head and half of the hood is done already. Speaking of the hood, let's go ahead and do that. Let's do the hood and body first. So what we're gonna do is, so here's hood color. Hood color's done. The hood back color. Which is exactly where we want it to be. Okay. I think this is where, oops. This is where we want the hood interior color. There it is. This one we can just do a regular. Okay. So what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna want to turn off all the cloaks. The head, all the bodies, 2 and 3. Yeah. Then, actually, we want to turn off. Well, Because what we want to do is we want to select. Actually, I do need to grab that color, dang it. I want this to be the same color. Wait, really? Dang it. There we go. Okay, so now let's do. Well, first off, let's copy and paste this. Oops. What? What happened? Oh, it's not on. That's the problem. That's interesting. The eyes are behind it. I need to that. Is that gonna be a problem? I hope not. That shouldn't be a problem. I don't know why it is right now, but I should be able to fix that. Okay. So now I needed. Okay. Where are we at? Here's eye CU. Here's eye shine. Here's eye color. Well, hold on. No. Take you. We want to bring you up. We want you in front. We want you behind head. Where's head? Where is head? There's body. There's body. Where's head? There's head. Funny. We actually want this. We want this right below hood cleanup. That. Hold on. Where's eye color now? Eye color and eye shine, bring that up. Underneath. There we go. Now we want regular hood color above all that. That's over everything. I don't know how I'm going to do the lighting yet. I don't think I'm going to do shadows and whatnot. I'm going to do like texture over it. and light it. Okay. And then put back color be like that. So now what we can do is we can turn all this off, I think. Which should line work? Others. And we want to do, let's do the body now. Oops. Okay, so body. I can go to the head color. Grab from that. Turn that off. Where is it? There you are. That should do it. Now we can do body color 2. Just the arm. I actually want to do body color 1 first. So the way to kind of think of layers like this is the more layers you have, the more control you have. Obviously, the more time it's going to take to like stitch it all back together, essentially. So it's a, I wouldn't call it a balancing act per se, but it is definitely like something to keep in mind as far as like, you know, how much time do you want to spend doing something. Why is that above the body one? Oops. There we go. That'll be good enough. What the? Oh. It's not really gonna matter a whole lot. This... That'll be fine, actually. On second thought. Yeah, brown pants. Like that. I don't remember. Do I give her her socks or not? Eh. Where's hood color? Oh, shoot. Right. Okay. I need the cloak. Cloak 2. Actually, but what I'm gonna do... Body 1... Because I don't want to have to redo this over and over again. Huh? Oh. That's a little awkward. Can I... Nice. No. Is there a paste new frame like Control Shift V? That's not what I want. Copy. Control V. Huh. Well, that's a little awkward. I fought so long to have... Okay, well, I need to change the preferences. File preferences. That was in layer frame. Or no, it wasn't. It was in animation, I believe. Add cell to frame when adding a layer. Remove cell when deleting. No, that's not it. Paste to select a layer. That's right. Paste a new layer. So it's easy enough to change. 2, 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Should work. In theory. Okay, so hood or cloak. Where's cloak? 1. And we actually want to bring this below all this. I think. Or actually we don't. Well, actually, okay. Where we want to bring that is actually below body 3 and 2, but not below 1. 1 is what it's covering. Ah, that's gonna be annoying. But it's, I think, the best we can do. It's not that bad. I just realized I don't have a flats layer. That shouldn't be a problem. Hopefully. I can make one if I ever need it. Okay, so that's done. If we turn things on now, should see things are pretty much come together. Obviously, we don't have everything in place, but this hand's in front, this is behind. This should be, that obviously needs to be behind. So that's cloak 3. That needs to be behind everything. Back, I guess. Yeah. Two. This needs to be behind body 3. Where's body 3? Body 2, body 3. We want it behind the color. Yeah, like that. Yeah, there we go. Follows the logic. This line we might need to fix. I'm not sure yet. Well, we should be able to put that. Maybe? I'll have to think about that one. Gonna head out? Alright, catch you later there, Guilty. Have yourself a good one. Let me see here. Okay, let me see if I can find figure out the logic on this. Okay, so we want hood. What is that? What hood interior color above cloak? Okay. Here's cloak 2. If we move this, below, yeah, that's where we want it. Oh man, so many layers to organize. There, that makes that work. Yes, yeah. Okay. Oh, that does. Frick. There's a couple frames. So this one. Okay, so I gotta make some corrections. So let's cloak 1. That's fine. This isn't though. There's cloak. Or no, that is cloak 1. Hold on. Guess I should have been more discreet. I need to see it, so I need to turn off everything else. That's kind of creepy. Okay, let's try that again. Oops. That's body color 2. Oh, that's... Better repeat this. Okay. Now we just need to do the cloaks. All 3 of them. Start with cloak 1. Oops, that's the wrong thing. Cloak C1. Cloak 1 color. That. And we basically want to turn off the body, but leave all that. That'll be fine. Body. Body color and body 1 color. There we go. That should be fine. Now where am I? Look, 1 color. That's fine. That works. Technically, it would be complete, but that works just fine. Yeah, that actually looks all right. Oops. That's the first one done. Give that a shot. Okay, and now we can do hook 2. Okay. Listen to them. Okay, that's looking pretty cool actually. Okay. One last one. Okay, we want cloak 3 now. There we are. Okay. Okay, I should now be able to turn everything on. Top to bottom. Everything should come together. In theory. There we are. Yeah, there we go. That feels pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. That came together really cool. We're not done. We're not close to done, actually. There's a lot more to do, but... I think I am gonna call it here. Truth be told, the next phases are pretty boring because it's just rendering stuff out. So, not gonna be missing much anyway. Alright, so with that being said, we'll be back on Thursday. Probably working on this. Probably. Still a long ways to go on it. And I'm enjoying working on it, so. All that being said, I'll catch you all later. Thank you for stopping by. I'll be back Thursday. And yeah, take care. Keep drawing. Have a good one. And see you around.